Robert Largan.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. The pandemic has been particularly difficult for young people. Research by the Education Policy Institute has shown that despite the best efforts of teachers, over the last 2 years, pupils have lost the equivalent of over 4 months of learning, with those in the North and Midlands most affected. There is a real danger that COVID will end up exacerbating long-standing inequalities. And according to the latest Ofsted inspection reports, only 55% of Derbyshire secondary schools are rated good or better, compared with the national benchmark of 80%. This inequality and opportunity simply isn't good enough. We must do better. In High Peak, we are making progress, with St Philip Hatwood Catholic Voluntary Academy in Glossop being upgraded to good in its latest Ofsted inspection compared to its 2018 rating of requires improvement. We've also seen capital funding that we've secured to invest in Hope Valley College, funding to expand Harper Hill Primary in Buxton, and the £4 million expansion of Glossopdale School is under construction, due to create an extra 240 places for the town during September. But more can and must be done. So I welcome that the government has designated Derbyshire as one of the new education investment areas, which means Derbyshire schools will receive much needed extra support with additional money for recruitment and retention for the best teachers. And the Queen's speech aims to build on this progress with the new schools bill to help drive up standards. Madam Deputy Speaker, our schools aren't the only public service challenged by the pandemic. The NHS is still grappling with a huge COVID backlog. A good example is the withdrawal of the mobile breast cancer screening unit in High Peak back in 2020. I fought hard to get this vital service reinstated, and I'm pleased to report to the House that the mobile unit is back up and running locally, operating at 160% of pre-pandemic levels. But we must do more than simply restore existing services if we're to build a more resilient preventative health service. And that's why I'm pushing so hard for new urgent care centres for both Stepping Hill Hospital and Tameside Hospital. It's also why I'm supporting Derbyshire Community Health Services bid for capital funding for a major new health centre for Buxton. Of course, not all illnesses are visible. As we rebuild from the pandemic, we must deliver parity between mental and physical health services, and the proposed Mental Health Act reform bill will play a key role in this mission, giving patients greater control over their treatment and ensuring that they receive a more personalised level of care. I recently visited the construction site of the £4.8 million highly specialist mental health unit that is being built at Tameside Hospital. This will replace the existing psychiatric intensive care unit at Stepping Hill, providing short-term care for men over age 18 experiencing mental health distress. And once that new unit is built at Tameside, the current psychiatric intensive care unit at Stepping Hill will be refurbished to create a new unit specifically for women. And this is particularly good news, given that this service is not currently available anywhere locally. So it will allow women to receive specialist mental health care closer to their homes and loved ones. Now, turning to social care, I'm pleased that this government have finally grasped the nettle and introduced reforms to try and ensure that nobody will have to sell their home to pay for care in future. And while these reforms are welcome, we really do need to get on with delivery and fleshing out the details of the improvement plans. And of course, tackling any of these challenges is only possible if we have strong public finances to pay for world-class public services we need, and that requires a strong and growing economy. And as we all know, we're facing global rising energy prices, a war in Europe, and we're still dealing with the enormous supply chain disruption caused by COVID, all of which are driving high inflation and the rising cost of living. The government's long-term reform plans are the right ones, investing in infrastructure, skills and public service reform to create sustainable growth and well-paid, high-skilled jobs. But we do need to think very carefully about what more can be done in the short term to help people cope with soaring costs now. There are no magic solutions, and those members who pretend otherwise are deluding themselves and the people they represent. That doesn't mean that we can't do more. We need honesty, creativity, pragmatism and compassion to deal with the challenges ahead. And if we work together, I'm confident we'll succeed. I'm glad that the Queen's speech put forward a whole series of practical measures to make Britain the best place to grow up and grow old.